We're here with the one and only Matthew Chavira. How are you, Matthew?
Doing excellent. It's Web Summit. It's amazing.
It's amazing. How is the Web Summit going so far?
It couldn't be better, honestly. I've been here once before, and this time I'm participating on behalf of my own company. So it's always a really exciting time for that.
Which is really exciting, your company, because you've been doing outstanding work, getting together all this top-tier people around AI. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. My professional beginnings start with Sophia the Robot, the world's most famous humanoid robot.
We all know Sophia.
Yeah. So whenever you see Sophia...
And she's been evolving, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Absolutely. From the time in which I joined the company back in 2017, shortly after her unveiling at South by Southwest, the robotic platform itself has gone through many upgrades, and now the current design is very robust and lightweight, and it just has so many remarkable features that lend itself to the humanoid aspect, the convincing humanoid aspect of the robotic platform itself.
I remember her on the last Web Summit, not the last, 3 or 4 years ago Web Summit.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing her speaking now, and it's a great improvement. She's amazing.
Yeah. So my professional beginnings is with this company, Hanson Robotics. And so anytime you see Sophia participating at an event worldwide, including here at Web Summit in the past, it is likely that I was the person behind that appearance. And I work with companies and conference organizers all around the world to have Sophia participate in these events to highlight some of the most remarkable aspects of artificial intelligence. And so working in this capacity, I came to know and become acquainted with organizers all over the world. At this point, I've arranged for appearances of Sophia in nearly 100 countries.
Oh, really? This year?
Not this year, but this is over the course of like maybe 5 years. She's been to 100 countries to date.
She's a public figure altogether.
Absolutely. To work with these organizations across so many different subjects and how they relate to AI. More often than not, Sophia was not alone on the stages in which she appeared.
What do you mean?
She was usually invited to give presentations on these large-scale stages, but also alongside other remarkable individuals who are also doing really incredible work in the field of artificial intelligence and have been invited to those same stages. And so I found myself in a position a couple years ago where I had developed through my work with Sophia this incredible network of conference organizers, but also at the same time the pioneers advancing the most incredible applications of artificial intelligence, truly transformative. People who were working on having artificial intelligence across nearly every industry. And from this network, I decided to create my own company, Profits of AI. And I now have the privilege of representing some of the largest names in the industry.
That's amazing. And we can go deeper on Profit AI.
Yeah.
But before that, walk us through top-tier people around AI. What are their concerns? What are they thinking about?
Yeah, so one of the more recent people that I signed, his name is Mark Minovich. And he just recently released a book called Our Planet Powered by AI. It's now a bestseller shortly after its release. And his concerns mirror many of the other trends that you hear talked about in the news. How artificial intelligence is going to affect the rising cost of living and the environment. There are some really novel approaches to both of these applications in artificial intelligence that some companies and people are working really hard towards.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And all these people working around AI, do they need to have sort of a human side to their own work? Do you think they have this approach? There is a human concern because AI is going to change businesses, people, everything around. So it's like all across the board change in all industries.
Yeah.
And I can see they all have this concern for the people. People have been talking about the UBI, Universal Basic Income. What's your take on that? How do you see those people that you are in close contact with having ideas about this?
I have not had the topic of universal basic income come up in my work, but there's no doubt that AI as a technology is positioned to solve a lot of these long-standing problems. And that's what I really enjoy and find so rewarding about the work that I do, is that a lot of the long-standing problems that humanity, that we have had to contend with for hundreds, even in some cases thousands of years, long-standing problems, these individuals that I represent are directly trying to tackle and solve these things like disparity of income, the representation of women across the workforce in technological fields, how to invest your money in AI properly. All of these are really important topics. This is, one of the benefits of working with so many remarkable people in the field.
And within your connections with those people, what are they doing now? What kind of projects, interesting projects are they getting into?
Yeah, sure. Two of the individuals in which I represent were recently featured in Time Magazine's recent article, 100 Most Influential People in AI. Those individuals are both artists, and this topic specifically, how AI connects to the humanities, art, is especially of interest to me. Stephanie Dinkins, for example, created a art project in which 3 generations of her family history, data that has been trained on the music, voice recordings, writings from 3 generations of her family that is embodied in a structure in which she calls Into, in which participants and people who interact with this art structure can conversate with it and hear the histories of her past ancestry. It's really incredible work. Su Gwen Chung is another remarkable example in which she uses data that has been trained on her brainwaves and connects that to an algorithm in which she's developed and uses that to power brush strokes that are made by robots that are capable of holding paintbrushes. And it's this collaboration between machine and human in which she exemplifies through her artwork. So there is a mark made by a robot and also a mark made by a human hand. And the result are these canvases of just remarkable beauty that highlight this collaboration of artificial intelligence and humanity.
That's amazing.
It really is.
It is. Yeah. And within the people that you've been contacting and regarding to your service, how do you think is going to evolve? Summits happening with all this less workforce being needed. Do you think these large conferences are going to be a thing of the past? Are we going to go into digital? Are you going to market your services then?
I don't think so. I think that the appeal and the importance of large-scale events just like Web Summit are critically important, because hearing about what these individuals are doing, how AI is impacting business and pretty much every aspect of our lives is important to read about and digest it through media format. But nothing will ever replace the experience of a live event and seeing your heroes and these people shaping the future directly.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
That will never go away.
What's really amazing also is Prophets of AI. I've been seeing the website and it's really interesting to look at.
Thank you.
And we can get some information there. Tell us how come are you going to make this AI only top tier individuals of AI? How does it play out in terms of the market? Is there a space for it?
I started the company with this innate belief that artificial intelligence has the capacity to completely revolutionize everything about the world. It's the people advancing its most pioneering applications, the boldest applications of it, I believe deserve their own platform, because the work in which they are focused on is so impactful, has the capacity to influence and affect the world. Hundreds of millions of people. And the people who are behind these efforts are doing such critical work that they deserve their own representation.
Exactly. And why are you the right man to do it?
Because through my work with Sophia, I have had the privilege of being connected to the world's biggest conference organizers, the largest ones. And I can very conveniently connect them, and I have outstanding relationships with many of these organizations.
Is there any demands? Let's say I'm a company, I want Sophia on my corporate environment, or I want Sophia on my event. Are there any restrictions, things that we need to know about?
With Sophia specifically?
Yeah, I know Sophia should be the hardest.
Yeah, so with Sophia specifically, we try to accommodate as much of the client requests as possible. We'd like her to appear in the capacity in which you can envision best, because you know your clients, you know your company best. So if you can think of a way in which highlights that most profoundly, we want to accommodate that. We will only steer away from really controversial topics or things that relate to,
such as,
the no-goes. Sexuality or very political type positions. We usually will not
steer away from
these. But overall, things are very open with Sophia. She's a robot for humanity.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And there are other robots happening. We've seen robots even in social media with their creators or their the staff there, presenting them and talking to them directly on social media, and we can even ask them questions.
Sure.
And they answer. How do you see that?
I think that robots specifically present a very unique platform. They have a very unique vehicle for epiphanies, conversations surrounding the application of AI. Robots make a really compelling use case as a direct engagement of AI, as opposed to it being just this thing of utility. Robots are uniquely positioned to satisfy the humanoid robots specifically, are uniquely positioned to satisfy that deep-seated human need for connection. And they can do this remarkably well, especially in platforms as convincing as Sophia.
I can totally see in Asia, in Japan, they have this really techy with their stuff. So on their day-to-day basis, they have everything really techy. Everything is working electronically.
Yes. Yeah.
So they should embrace that. Do you see the United States and Europe also embracing this humanoid robots inside their homes? How do you see that?
I think that as the functionality and the capability of humanoid robots become more robust, the draw and the appeal of them will be undeniable, and that eventually they will become a fabric of society, one of the multiple layers of it, but they will become an integral part of the way the world works.
It's amazing. Matthew, you're the go-to guy for this AI phenomena, for the people talking and moving the industry. Tell us a little bit about Profit AI. How can people find you? Of course, Profit AI is pretty self-explanatory, but the process, walk us through.
Yeah, sure. So if there are any organizations looking to access, looking for a resource for direct engagement for the world's leading experts in artificial intelligence, that's what Profits of AI exists for. So you can take the guesswork out of this. Who do I engage with? Who can speak about my industry specifically and its AI's application and influence over it? My organization exists as a resource for that, to solve that problem.
Perfect. Matthew, thank you very much for this interview. Really pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.